to swipe and steal.
Misty,
Spencer,
what are you doing here?
I don't know. How'd I get here?
I don't know. I don't know why you keep coming here.
I don't know why you keep inviting me.
Well, hey, on this episode, ain't nobody got to listen to you and me talk a bunch of dumb stuff. We got professionals in the house this time. You not gonna say anything? Has the cork not been popped all the way? Need to smack you on the back? Are you choking up on me already, squirrel?
Yeah, sorry. All right.
I thought we had this worked. She's just not saying anything. All right. Time to bring on the pros because we're going downhill fast. We probably lost a viewer in the first 30 seconds. Good job, squirrel. Hey, everybody. Well, welcome to the show. We're off and running.
Oh, hey, y'all.
Wow, a whole 25 people right off the get-go. That's impressive for me. And without further ado, the people that everybody's been waiting to see for months, not naming any names, but their initials are Larry Porch and Mark Newbill of Sawdust Beast. And this is my extended family. So please say hi to Mark and Larry.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, everyone.
Hello. When you said professionals, I thought we'd been replaced.
Yeah,
I could be replaced at this point. Y'all can take over the show. At least if you do, my viewership will tick up.
I don't know.
good to see you guys.
Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Spence.
I'm glad to hear it. Mr. Porch?
I'm hanging in there.
Right. Well, long time no see. What y'all been up to for the past little bit? Anything new and exciting happening?
Well, I've still been going out boogering, and it's just
Are you implying Larry hasn't?
no.
Because he hasn't.
I've been
Oh,
camping.
You went
camping, but I can't say I went boogering.
Yeah. Well, when I go boogering, I just go camping anyway. That's what I do. I go camping, I sit around the campfire and I eat, and I stare off into the woods and hope something will happen. It never does.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. It's like I told you earlier, it's kind of like insanity. We keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, but we keep getting the same result every time.
Well, we do get results. It's just not that 100-yard away clear as day sighting.
Yeah. It's the same.
I just want to say hello to everyone in the chat room because I'm seeing all these familiar faces, and it just warms my heart to see these people. It really does.
Well, quite a few of these people. In fact, pretty much everybody has been checking out this show, and they've been staying here. And of course, they're all familiar from the Beast page, and a lot of people have been missing you, and they told you to, or they tell me to tell you hi and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure that they're glad to see you and everything as well. So nothing new in the Bigfoot world in the past couple months, huh? Nothing groundbreaking?
Not for me. I've been taking a break. Mark's still been going. I've got kind of up to here with it for a little while. Maybe I'm back down to here now. I don't know.
Give him another month. He'll be down to here.
Yeah, it's peaks and valleys, and I'm in a valley right now.
Mark, you went bear hunting here recently, didn't you?
Man, let me tell you, I want to do a show, and we're going to do that show, and we're going to have Mr. Jim and Sherry and Misty come on, and because that was just such that was a lifelong memory to go and experience hunting bear. And the reason why I wanted to go was I wanted to see the dogs and the hunters working together. And it was simply amazing. And I tell you, my driver for that event, he drive just like Steve McQueen. Let me tell you, we were on that mountain, and these are little one road gravel mountains, and she's jamming gears and fishtailing around curves, and I'm looking over and seeing 200-foot drop offs, and she just jam another gear, and it was kind of funny. We came up, we called up with a guy, a couple of guys that were in a truck in front of us, and she caught up with them guys, and you could see them guys speeding up once they saw Misty behind the wheel, and I could just hear that conversation in that truck, and that guy saying, "Man, that girl's catching up with us. You better speed up."
I told him, I said, I can't be responsible if I kill you.
If you've ridden with Larry, if you've ridden with Larry enough, you're used to it anyway.
We had a
Larry's
blast. He done really, really good. Really good. I threw him off the dog box like to killed him. I felt so bad.
1 minute, I'm on the back of the truck, and there's racks, and I'm hanging onto the racks, and we're bumping, and she'd holler at me about every, I don't know, 30 seconds and saying, "You doing all right?" And I said, "Yeah." And we had went off trail, and we were just flying just through the woods, dodging trees, dodging rocks, and she hit a log. It was covered in leaf litter, and the next thing I know, I am airborne, and I'm looking down at the truck, and I'm thinking, and the way that it threw me, I was about to come down on my head. And but one thing that is instinctive with me is from my old skydiving days of how to adjust your body so that you can reposition yourself. And anybody that's taken judo or karate or anything like that, they have that instinct too, where they know how to fall and they're able to adjust their body position. And so instead of my head, I come down on my leg.
In the safest place, you changed it to your leg.
I might have knocked some sense in me if I let myself come down on my head.
I'd have been 10 foot up in the air looking for the ripcord.
He done great. I don't know how far you guys walked after that.
I would say probably 2 miles on up into the mountain and then 2 miles back.
Yeah, it was a while.
Larry, did you get a chance to go deer hunting any this past year?
I did. I went several times, and I saw every buck we had on the property, and none of them were big enough that I wanted to take them.
Damn it.
So I was hoping one of the does would bring one of the bigger bucks from some other land over there, but they didn't.
Antler hunting.
Antler hunting. Well, they got CWD up in our county, and it's a hassle to kill a deer up there because if you get it into the processor, they hold it for about 2 or 3 weeks, and the processors only take them for like a day or two, and they're full because they're waiting on them to test them to release them. So it's a hassle. If you kill one and you don't want to process it yourself, then you're in trouble.
Larry, what would happen if, let's say, you harvested a deer and you process it yourself and it had the disease? What would happen if you ate it? Would you get like something like mad cow disease, or has it not been around long enough to see long-term effects? Or
I'm sure they don't know for sure, but I'm sure that someone has killed one and ate it.
yeah.
But I don't know, honestly. I've not looked into that. I just decided not to pull the trigger.
That's one way to avoid it.
Yeah.
Did you see that one where that guy had killed where it had all them tumors all over it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Oh, I couldn't have ate that one either.
That happens occasionally, but it forget, I think it's a fungus or something they get that it causes that, but I'm not sure.
I've never seen a deer with it, but wouldn't you? I mean, when you're gutting it, wouldn't you see it inside there? Isn't it all over on the inside of that cavity whenever you're gutting it?
Are you talking about the CWD or the other?
Well, that wasting disease.
No, the wasting disease is more of a blood disease, and it eats at their brain.
Oh, the white stuff is the tumors then?
Oh, I've not seen, one that's had tumors on it because of CWD. They just start acting stupid and wind up going to water, and I don't know. I don't know exactly what happens with CWD. I know there's a black tongue, blue tongue that they get occasionally too, that they go to water and it does something to them and they die at the water source. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody said zombie deer. That's basically what happens during CWD. They just start you could walk up on them and touch them and they wouldn't run off because their brain's not functioning basically.
Huh.
What is that movie? Cabin Fever, where that guy falls in the water and the water source or whatever makes everybody sick. That's what's going to happen to somebody with one of them deer. They're going to fall in the water and it's just going to cause the zombie apocalypse.
We ain't got to worry about the deer doing it. Our government and the railroads are doing a good job.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah. Oh, and here we go. We're getting flagged.
Stay inside.
Not bad.
Let Larry on the show one time.
Get a YouTube strike.
Yeah, made it to 9 episodes before my ass gets taken off.
Man, you always thought it was going to be me.
It would be you if the cameras were on while we were backstage.
Well, I won't even talk about my theory on CWD. We'll go on.
Well, there's theories on everything. So any plans for like in the future? I mean, obviously we all know that some of us we're going to Alabama here soon. And then, but individually, do y'all have any planned excursions as far as boogering goes?
I don't. I'm a fly by the seat of my pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't even pack till the last minute, so we know. But.
Larry, I'll call you the night before and say, "Hey, let's go camping tomorrow."
Yeah, it's true.
Really? I thought he waited for other people to invite him.
I do both.
I tell you, Larry has a talent for organizing, and my hat's off to him because he will take care of everybody before he takes care of himself. And it just shows that he's a giver and not a taker. He's going to make sure everyone is has everything that they need, and then he'll come around a little later on and try to get some of their victuals.
That's true. I was gonna say I'll put myself second until it comes to eating. Then I may be first.
He'll pay for the food. He'll pay for the food if you're willing to cook it for him.
I heard him tell you that. I'll just give you the money you get.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
I don't like
you should have seen I've got, look, just so y'all know, hold on. Where's I almost put the pictures up of you and Larry both eating the hot fudge sundaes at that restaurant by Daniel Boone.
Ooh.
I was trying to find the picture of what, the hot fudge sundae? Or are you groaning at
that's the best hot fudge. It's hot fudge cake.
Yeah, hot fudge cake.
And it's the best in the world.
Oh, they're big. I mean, big. That ain't.
They are. I know. I'm looking for the picture of you holding the food bag just to give people. Notice how he's sitting by a cooler. The beer ain't his, I assure you, but he's always propped up by the food somewhere. He's like on post. He's on guard duty. There's Mark bear hunting. Hold on. We'll go. I'll let the pictures play. I was just trying to find the one of.
Where's that?
There it is.
That's it.
See that, people? That's one of the food bags for like a 3 days.
We're gonna be there for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, 3 days. That was one of the bags.
I don't blame you. I don't want to starve either.
Nope.
Oh, there ain't no chance of that. That's for sure.
I want a variety too. I don't want to be stuck with one choice.
Yeah, Larry corrected me on that because I used to bring steaks and we'd eat steak every night. He told me, he said, man, you need to bring some pork chops or some chicken or something. I can't be eating T-bones and porterhouses every night.
Yeah, not every night.
I'm thinking to myself, I can.
Yeah, I can. For 2 or 3 nights in a row, I could eat a steak every night in a row and be happy.
Except when I put the fire out, right?
Except for when you put the fire out.
And there's ice and snow everywhere around, all the wood's wet.
If you ever camp with Mark in a blizzard and you're lucky enough to get a fire going, you got to watch that man, because sure as shit, you will turn around just as the fire's getting hot enough. Mark put the damn fire out so he could cook. To hell with everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
It rained for 5 days.
Every time.
Yep. So does anybody have anything for planned in the future, for anything that you're looking forward to or whatnot?
I do. Let's see. We have a thing in Alabama, and then we have a thing in Kentucky the next month, and I'm looking forward to going with squatching and fishing, and that is Scott and Sheila Granger. I talked with Sheila last night, and we spent some time at LBL about 6 weeks ago, and they're so much fun to be around. They're from Georgia. They're the ones that helped the Sisters of the Moon find a location there, and they're great people. And I'm going to tell you, just listening to their stories, Sheila sent me some videos last night, and they've got stuff going on around their house. They've had activity when they take people out, and just the idea. I have never fly fished before, And that's one thing that Scott does on his expeditions is he said, I can teach anybody to fly fish in 30 minutes. And so you're trout fishing during the day and you're squatching it at night. I mean, it don't get no better than that.
No. Are you going on one of the expedition things like with other people, or are you just going privately?
No, I'm going to go. I want to be I want to watch them operate. I want to see how they do their expeditions, and then maybe get them on Beast of the Woods or Beast TV, and we can just talk about it. There's people that really, they charge a lot, groups that charge a lot of money to take you out, and they are so reasonable.
They're called hitmen.
Oh. Yeah, but it's so reasonable to go out with them, and it's affordable for the average guy like me. And so I just want to help promote them.
I don't remember what episode of Beast TV it was that you had them on, but that was a really good show. I would like to get them on here. I just thought, they had some really good experiences and everything. And they seem like great people. I mean, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know where Squirrel went to, but it's just us. As it has been before. We can put her back.
Yeah. She must have done a perimeter
put her backstage again.
I was closing the curtain. Sorry. I can't stand up. I done got accused of not having a bra on.
Squirrel, we are live.
Strike, YouTube strike number 2.
You told me I could say anything I want to say.
You want to stand up and show everybody else what you showed us bakstage? No, not that part.
Oh, my underarms. Mark told me I needed to shave my underarms. So, hey, I told you I'm an open book. I got
look. Larry you done embarrassed Larry and made him hide his face.
Come back, Larry.
Man. Underarms.
This is what we do. If you think this is something, you should see us around the campfire. Good times, good times.
We actually met on the last LBL trip. Is the first time I had ever met you and Anthony.
Yeah. I knew who y'all were because of Sherry. Met Sherry before at the meet and greet down there that one time. I don't think that you were there anyway. But that one meet and greet, there were so many people there. And I'm horrible with like names. I barely remember faces, but that was a big outing. And I know I met Sherry there that one time. But and I wouldn't mind going back to LBL again, this year. But I've got some other stuff. I really want to start digging into Alabama a little bit more and places around Cherokee National Forest and parts of North Carolina, because there just seems to be a lot more activity down there than what there is in my neck of the woods. So, but maybe, who knows? Don't know what's going to happen this year. I was going to say, Mark, do you want to go ahead and let's look at this audio clip of yours?
Okay. I'll let Misty do the backstory. This is when we were at LBL Halloween. And because you were the first one out of the truck, you were the first one that knew something was not right. You could hear something. And, but we basically went out, we made calls, and we got responses. And one thing that I like about this spectrogram is a lot of times people say, well, that was a coyote, but you got coyotes amongst a unknown animal that science does not recognize on the spectrogram. And so that you can see that whatever the vocalizer was, it was something that we can't identify. And so we're not saying what it was, but we can definitely tell you what it wasn't.
Right. All right. Well, let's get this going. Misty, you can point stuff out if you want to. Here we go.
Let's see. I'm going to start it at the beginning.
Yeah. Sorry. There we go. Oh, yeah. Well,
what was your thoughts, Misty, when you got out of the truck?
This was the second place we had stopped at. It was weird. We stayed probably an hour and a half at the first spot. And I would have swore we had some stuff going on there. But Centria actually caught this at the second spot on her phone. And we knew as soon as we heard it. I mean, there was no denying. But what's so strange is when we pulled up, everybody was getting their equipment ready. And I don't know, I just had a weird feeling. So I get out of the truck before everybody and shut the door and just lean up against the door and look across the road. Excuse me. And there was something over there that almost kind of bluff charged me a little bit. It started coming towards me and it started like grunting and growling. And Sherry actually heard it, opened the door and got out and had Shelby, Centria's dog. And when she got her out, she caught her foot a little bit and kind of slid as she was getting out of the truck. And whatever happened, I don't know if that scared it when it seen the dog or it realized there was more people that was getting out of the vehicle or what, but you could tell it seemed like it was mad. It made a heck of a noise and turn around and sound like it was tearing down the whole side of the mountain trying to get away. And Sherry heard it and Mark and Centria were still sitting in the truck. So they got out, didn't even have a clue of what was going on. Mark goes, do a call. So, here I go. And then just one single coyote kind of off in this just opening right off to the front right of us started making a noise. And then that's when we heard the booger. And then other ones started getting going behind us after all this.
That's well, I mean, how many times though have people caught calls just like this at LBL where, you know, you get the coyotes going and you've got something unidentifiable mixed in with it? I mean, it seems to be pretty standard, you know, in a lot of places, but LBL, I mean, is one of those areas where this happens kind of frequently. Mark, did you do the spectrogram on this?
I did.
Whenever you're looking at the spectrogram And like in this case, because it's a longer video clip, it's a little bit smaller on the screen. Are the possible booger calls, are they down there in that 500-600 hertz range?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, it started off at 562 hertz and it topped out at 683 hertz. And that's on the money for what we believe is a booger. The coyotes, I mean, you can see where the coyotes are. They'll go in the up to the range of around 2000 hertz.
Right.
And so it's just in science, the spectrogram and the animal frequency signature is just like a fingerprint, and it's like what a law enforcement agency would look at, and like looking at a fingerprint. And so they can eliminate who it's not. One thing that I really appreciate that somebody that has been touching on this recently with a couple of videos is Thinker Thunker.
So
he has a lot of viewers, a lot of subs, and this is, other than capturing one on video moving, audio is really our best evidence that we have. And because you can eliminate, it's not a fox, it's not a coyote. And so it's our best evidence. And if that's one thing me and Larry and Shelly were doing when we first got into this, is we were going out to LBL and setting out recorders and coming back a week later and picking them up and reviewing them, and so that we could find out, are we in the right areas, for something, for a booger to move through this area and vocalize or do a wood knock or whatever. And so I'm really appreciative to Thinker Thunker for putting out videos that are looking at the spectrogram.
Yeah. Pound for pound, I mean, the audio seems to present, it's a lot more, you can make a much more solid case with the audio than you can with, impressions, especially if the tracks are not crystal clear. You got to have the right substrate for the tracks to come out really clear. Stick structures, a lot of that, can be, you got to admit, a lot of it can be caused by nature or whatnot. There are certain things that we look for and everything, but pound for pound, the audio really does the best job of giving you some type of scientifically based evidence of, hey, there's something there that can't be identified according to the vocal signatures that are indigenous in that area. But you had more than one. There's what, 2 or 3 times in here where it possibly vocalizes?
Three times in this one clip. And Sin captured some other stuff, but this is just the one that I just picked out because it was recent. And so yeah, we've been out boogering
That
Is
was a
this
fun night. There was just 4 of us went.
Yeah.
Is this the only thing that got captured from that night?
There were some other things, but this is just the one that I pulled up to share, because what I liked about it, it's mixed in with the Yodis so that you can actually visualize it on the spectrogram, seeing that yes, this is not a coyote, and you can tell by the frequency signature.
We knew. I mean, like I said, anybody that's ever heard anything like that, I mean, because it sounds so much different when you're in the woods than it does. Even just listening to it, we just looked at each other. Both of us just started grinning. I pointed like this, and she went.
Yeah, that's a good point about it. Whenever you're out there standing there and you hear it, what you record and play back don't sound exactly as powerful and different than what you hear on the recording. Yeah. And a lot of people listen to that and go, oh, it's a wolf or something. They won't even look at the spectrogram and see what you're talking about on the spectrogram. They'll just dismiss it. Oh, it's just a coyote. But whenever you're standing out there hearing it live, it ain't no coyote.
It's a world of difference.
Man dogs.
Yeah. See, I knew you'd want to talk about dog men today.
Oh, man.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Yeah, he does. I told you.
Mark, Dee Dee Harrison wants to know what type of recorder you use.
There are all kinds of good recorders. What I would suggest is to have one that records in at least MP3 that you can transfer the files to a computer. The Sony ICD P333s, that's the old model, but I have several of those. They are excellent recorders. They record at MP3. I've got a Zoom. I've got 2 Zooms. Carrie Arnold gave me one, and those record in the WAV format. Now they take up more data on your recorder, and on a 32 gigabyte card, you're not going to be able to record but about 48 hours on it. So it doesn't make a good recorder if you wanting to put something out long term. But the Sonys, we get 100+ hours. Using what kind of batteries, Larry?
Lithium batteries.
And do you know? I mean, think of all of the recordings you would have right now. You could possibly have some awesome stuff if you could go back and find Larry's recorders.
That's true.
And if y'all want a cheap recorder, Larry has graciously left y'all 10 or 20 of them in the woods of LBL. Go find them.
LBL, Daniel Boone, wherever you want to go look.
They're there.
It's like a treasure hunt.
Yeah. Greg wanted to know, why does a recording never do it justice? Not like hearing it in person.
Well, I'll answer that, because the recorders suck.
Because of the vibration, you're not feeling the vibration.
It definitely has more resonance in person. I mean, you can very much tell the difference in person. I don't know how to describe it any better than that, but you can feel it, you can hear it, you just can tell that it's completely different than the coyotes. If what you're hearing is coyotes over yonder, and then these things start going off, you can tell a world of difference in it.
Plus, it will come from different directions.
Yeah.
The coyotes may start up first. It could be, the alpha male, calling up the pack. And then, you're hearing it. Everything else in the woods is hearing it. And for some reason, it will just set a booger off, and they will howl back.
Mark, I need better glasses, apparently. I just realized you've got our shirt on. I love it. Thank you so much for wearing it.
I love my shirt. I do. The SASS group gave me this shirt when I went bear hunting. Gave me the Laurel Mountain Bear Hunting Club shirt and a sticker, and I cherish them. I do. I cherish them.
Well, we love you.
Misty's got a sign behind. What?
Mine's
Speak
got
up, Larry.
sauce on it. Mine has pizza sauce on it. Dirty.
We love you too, Larry. Even though you didn't wear a shirt.
I did wear it.
And that's
pizza sauce on it.
And that's Layla's shirt that Misty framed up.
Yeah. Yep.
What's that other sign back there, Misty? Something ass.
Yeah. Rodney Beasley said, if you look at that, he said the only thing, he said it's nice, but he said what stands out, he said, is Southern ass and ass seekers.
Oh boy, only Rodney.
Yeah.
I said, well, maybe I'm seeking some Southern ass.
You can't take him anywhere.
What did Debbie Jones write? What are Mark and Larry's most memorable Bigfoot experiences? Thank you for filling in the show and trying to help, Debbie.
Thanks, Debbie. I forget sometimes I work here.
aside from Mark wanting to watch Brokeback Mountain, what are y'all's most memorable Bigfooting experiences?
Well, I've got two. The first one is, it was actually when the first time we met the Sisters of the Moon, and we were in Oklahoma, and we had a booger scream out that was just so close to us. You could feel it in your chest. And I'm going to tell you, if you put your hand on a tree, I think that you would have felt that vibration on a tree. That's how loud it was. And Larry was sick. I was exhausted. And because hopefully I don't snore like I used to, but Larry would move me 25, 50 feet away from him. And I just remember, it was dark, and I just remember our headlights facing each other. We turned and looked at each other, and we were kicking off our boots to get in our hammocks, and we just crawled in the hammocks. And then not that this is any less, because it's not, but it's when we went to Salt Fork with Eric Tipton and Kane Michael, and all the activity that we had. That was an awesome experience.
That's the time y'all had them. That I think Eric and Kane both talked about that. Whenever you had them all around you, right?
Yeah.
Whenever it was just constantly going for a couple days. Yeah. And I guess they, like Larry says, they figured out that y'all weren't leaving, so they got tired of it and they left.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two are probably mine too. After we heard that call and Mark and I turned in, later that night in Oklahoma, I had a smell wake me up, and I could hear something walk away from the head end of my hammock. So it sounded bipedal, and it smelt bad, and it was close to me. And we did get that on audio. You could hear for like 30 minutes previous to when I woke up, I guess it was throwing rocks and sticks and hitting a four-wheeler we had there. And you could hear it ease in. It was trying to see how close it could get before we woke up, I guess. But that was definitely an interesting experience. And I tried to get it on thermal, and it failed because it was behind me and there was a tree, of course, where the hammock was hanging. But
excuses.
Always. And I was too
Spencer
fat to roll over in the hammock and get a shot.
You know, we played that audio clip that's in the intro to on Beast TV. So that audio clip gets played, you know, every time we have a show. But what was amazing going back and listening to that audio is that what he's talking about, us being asleep, you can hear something bipedal walking closer to us where the recorder was at, and you can hear it throwing things. Sometimes it would sound like pebbles, sometimes it may sound like a little stick, and it was like seeing if we were really asleep. And it just kept moving closer and closer. And what woke Larry up was not something moving around us. It was the stench of this animal. The smell is what woke Larry up. And I think, and you know, it ran away. And I think that's why it ran away. It noticed that Larry's breathing changed, going from sleeping to being woke. And then he's reaching and trying to grab the thermal. And how many people would have grabbed a pistol laying on their chest, you know, hearing something coming up and stinking like that, you know? But you got to hand it to Larry. He grabbed that thermal and tried to get it on thermal. But that thing had already noticed that Larry had woke up.
Yeah, and whenever I grabbed the thermal, it stopped walking. So it heard me moving and stopped walking. And whenever I put the thermal down, within a minute or two, I heard it walk off toward the creek or river or whatever you want to call it. And I didn't hear it anymore. And I went back to sleep. And about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I heard something else close to us. And I did get it on thermal, and it was a coon. Went right by Mark, and Mark never let up. He was sawing them logs.
Did y'all the next morning? Did y'all look for tracks or anything? Did you find anything?
We looked. It was.
We didn't have much time. I was speaking at a conference, and so we just basically had to jump up and jump on the four-wheeler and make it back to the truck, and then drive to where the conference was at.
But around where we were camping too, there was a lot of rocky soil, and it was hard. So.
Oh yeah. All right.
You know, there's a lady that that does like the sketches of stuff like this for people. Like if you've seen something, or I can't think of her name right now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm starting to lose my voice. But maybe, hold on just a second. Sorry. Squirrel.
Well,
no, I'm trying to think of it. I was trying to think of her name and I lost my train of thought. But have you've seen one, right? I mean, like physically seen one?
I've seen one through a thermal. I have not seen one in the daylight. And so that's I'm not trying to prove that these creatures exist.
I
Not
just
at all.
wondered, like especially like Eric and him, one where he has seen one. Maybe he should try to get with that lady. I mean, she doesn't charge anything. She just does it for people. I'll try to look her name up and see what it is. But
Eric actually has a drawing of the one he saw.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
And anyway, what?
Say something.
I was getting ready to. I was trying to fill in, and then you started again.
Shut the hell up.
I was just trying to cover dead space, and then she wants to jump. Look, she never wants to talk unless you prompt her, and every time I go to say something, just out of nowhere.
Yes, Debbie, it is. Thank you very much. That's exactly who it is. But anybody else, if you guys have seen something, this lady does do drawings for people. I thought that was really neat. Thank you, Debbie.
Is she the one that does? Are those like the kind of like CGI rendered faces, like all the different? Does she draw by hand?
No, she draws them. Yeah, she does like a sketch artist, just draws them out.
Yeah, I believe she lives in California, don't she? She's with the Independent.
They said she's good. Said that a lot of people said that she gets closer than anybody ever has on the drawings that she does. But sorry, go ahead. Proceed.
Yeah. I was just going to tell everybody that we are not going to have a really long show today. So if anybody has any questions specifically asked, Mark or Larry, go ahead and get them up now if you haven't already. Diane said, does she do forensic drawings?
Yeah.
Now that I'm not sure about.
Just say yes.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like a criminal sketch artist. Is what she's talking about.
Just say yes. Do y'all put tarps over your hammocks?
Sometimes.
Yep.
Most of the time we got some kind of cover over them.
Has anybody gone out and got one of those tent like things that go over the hammocks yet? They make those. They already got one of those?
You don't remember it, our outing when it's
yeah. Kane had one because Kane was trying to heat the damn thing up with a candle. One
candlelight power.
Yeah. It was like probably a tea candle, knowing him. I was gonna say they make them like a hot tent now, where they've got the port in them, and you can put the hot tent ovens or firebox things.
Let's put 5 to 10 more pounds on my back. Carrying a hot stove in.
Look,
that'll bring it up to about 100 pounds.
Mark's done got in such good shape, he can start carrying your gear now.
That's true.
That's
a good idea.
Mark, next time.
I cannot tell y'all how many times that Spencer has taken my load. Probably every time that we have trekked in the woods.
I wasn't gonna say anything. Now we are talking some Brokeback Mountain, guys.
Let's hear about this, Spencer.
I knew
kids aren't watching.
I thought it was going to be Kane that was going to completely take the show like down a different path, but no, leave it to Mark Newbill. Leave it to Mark.
Y'all are killing me.
Hey, it's Sunday and y'all got dirty minds. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself.
It ain't just on Sunday. Anyway, I almost had to kill my camera there on that one.
See, Spencer, what you caused.
Over them other
That's right, Debbie Jones. You straighten them out.
Well, I think the next time we go back to a certain area that we've been to quite a bit, I think there's a possibility we're not camping in the exact same spot. So maybe we won't have to trudge whatever the distance is way back in there through that swamp carrying 100 pounds of stuff.
You forgot who we're going with.
I know. Eventually, at some point,
They will look up at a 500-foot ridge and then look at each other and just take off. And
Yeah.
you're either hanging with them or you're turning around and going back to camp.
It's, following Kane through the woods is, because Kane's a little mountain goat. He just goes and goes and goes. He doesn't stop. And I don't mind that, but walking through that swamp, trying to go around those 100-foot long mud puddles in the middle of winter, carrying all that stuff, man, it's a workout.
I love it.
You love it.
I love getting there.
The only time Larry went back to the car was to restock on the food, and it happened every day. Larry went back every day and got more food.
Did it go every day?
You got your exercise, didn't you?
I don't know if you did or not, but that's what I'm telling people.
You just called Larry fat.
And
you ain't. You just big boned. Don't listen to him.
Yes, Anthony, I can describe it. Tell your wife it smelled like Anthony after 3 days of camping. No, it smelled like a wet dog with feces stuck to it.
Smelled like Spencer. It was him creeping up on you.
Creeping.
Creeper.
That's what I like to do, creep up on people in the middle of the woods. Right?
Oh my God, Spencer's a stalker. Better watch him, Larry.
Kane is a goat, though. Man, we got lost in North Georgia, and that little dude was just bebopping around. I've already got cramps in my hamstrings and my calves. We got up on a mountain and got cell service to figure out where the camp was. We were like 4, 5, 6, 7 mountain ranges over from the camp. And by the time we got over camp, my legs were done. And I slid down the mountain to camp. And Kane just bebopped right into camp. Slade Monk says, Larry, dog, what the hell happened to you? And I just pointed at Kane. And he's just sitting there grinning, going, what?
What's for supper?
Yeah. Let's go again. But
at least you had Slade there.
Larry don't know he spent money with Spencer.
Well, there was a fire band there, so there wasn't a whole lot of cooking going on, really. It was sad. Sad.
I can't get a fire going when Larry's around anyway.
That's true. That's Spencer. He makes all his videos, and he don't show where he cuts off and lights the cotton with a lighter or whatever he does. He makes it look like he's sitting there rubbing that stick, and it just goes poop. But you get him out in the woods, he can't lighten up.
He's out there with a big flamethrower.
Never nobody's looking hairspray in a bit. Look what I can do. We call them hillbilly goats.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, Spencer, what's the menu for our trip to Alabama?
I was getting ready to say, look, Gene Hudson.
Yeah, I saw it. That's what made me think about it.
Is that what you looked at that and said, yeah? But I don't know what the menu will be. Maybe we'll have to do ziti and garlic. I can tell you this: when we go to Alabama, Mark Green has graciously offered to prepare us chitlins, which I flat out turned him down. But y'all can participate if you want to.
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, they'll be good. Got at least
I
time.
can ship you my portion.
Yeah.
That's okay. They'd go bad before they got here.
They already bad.
They can't go but so much worse. And the damn sure ain't riding in a truck. So I will happily pay to mail them. No chillings and no nothing with that white sauce.
What
And
That's
no,
sauce are you talking about?
No, don't start, Larry.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought you were going to talk about helping Mark out again.
No, I wasn't the one that talked about it anyway.
Oh, mercy.
Dear chili. Yeah, dear chili.
Dear chili good.
Chili is good at a camp out. Chili is always a good option. Larry eats damn stuff off the floor.
Yeah.
Or if he has to.
Oh, yeah, the crackers in it.
I don't know. I don't know what we will end up.
Added protein.
Crackers. Nobody put. How many people in the comments do y'all put crackers in your chili? I voted for corn chips, and I've not heard the end of it since then. Larry makes it sound like the whole damn planet puts crackers in their chili. I know I'm not
corn chips and crackers.
I know I'm not the only one that
That
says
is a
no
totally
to the
different meal. If you put chips in there, you've got like a Frito pie or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you put crackers in there, it's
That's chili and crackers.
It's chili and crackers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. You're eating a Frito pie. Now, see, you're right, Larry.
Mark,
don't let him bully you like that. I've got you back.
Comment.
What?
Gene loves Cincinnati chili.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Spencer, have you ever heard about Cincinnati chili?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a hot topic around the campfire. If you bring up chili, they're going to jump on the whole Cincinnati chili part.
Eric and Kane are from Ohio, and they'll talk about it worse than we do.
And there's a reason.
Yeah. Chili needs beans.
Yes.
And
It needs meat.
Yes.
Yeah.
It don't need 3 inches of grease film on the top of it. I'm sitting there watching Eric keep dipping that ladle in there, trying to find something besides grease.
Yeah.
They cooked on that stuff for 3 days out there.
Did y'all put crackers in it?
I actually poured it over a hot dog.
That's what I did too. Added cheese. It wasn't bad that way. Debbie's always trying to butt in where I'm going.
That's exactly right. You have enough spots of your own, Debbie Jones.
Yeah. Her and the girls will go somewhere and she'll say, oh, it's just me and the girls. But whenever me and the guys, I want to go.
Yeah. That's the way you do it, Debbie.
Yeah. Debbie Jones traveling all over the whole country looking for Bigfoot, finding fields of bones and everything. Let somebody else find a location that we might want to go to. Oh, I was just telling Larry I'd like to go there. I bet you would. No, Debbie. No, it does not need beans.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
It does.
What? Hold on. Gene Hudson said that.
Hey, Larry, remember that chili that Debbie brought?
Oh, yeah.
That Texas chili? And it didn't have no beans. I couldn't believe our Texan friends didn't put beans in chili.
It made me break a grill, remember?
Yeah.
I saw it had no beans and I stomped the grill.
Hold on. It made you break a grill. Did it break like Anthony's grill broke?
No.
Oh, he was so proud of that grill.
He
so proud
body
of that.
slammed that grill with his foot.
Yeah, but you bought another one the next day, didn't you?
Yeah.
And that's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
And it's already quit working.
I bet.
You just hard on grills.
Yeah, I use them a lot.
Well, if you ever seen whenever Larry and Debbie go out on some of their videos, when they go out camping by themselves at LBO or whatnot, they fill up a whole boat and just go down one of the lakes.
Crap. We look like the Clampets. You know how their truck was? Good grief. That was fun, but we didn't have much happen.
And 3/4 of it is the stuff that goes in the Taj Mahal tent.
Yeah, no doubt. She can't do without that.
Look at her. Look at her.
Uh-huh.
Well, Debbie, what are you doing here in a few weeks? All girl camp out. Look, and Mark Green invited her. Mark, you've done fallen for her ruse. What are you doing? Mark, this is how it begins.
Now Sherry's jumping on the band.
I see this. Get a girl's group and see if he'll let us come down. Sherry. You know that in like the national like chili cook-off things, they don't let you put beans in it. It's got to be just like the meat and the broth, the sauce. They don't let you put beans in it. That's probably where the.
So what did you cook this weekend, Spencer? We're supposed to talk about food on here too. So what did you cook this weekend?
I cooked I cooked the firecracker chicken again last night, which is hey man, whenever beef comes back down, I'll go back to having steak 3 or 4 times a week, but until then, I'm trying to be creative with stuff. Yeah. But I did pulled pork. I did pulled pork last weekend. And then salad a couple times because my wife actually likes to eat vegetation every once in a while. I did have pork chops. Yeah. I have pork chops, and the only barbecuing I've done here, I have not done a brisket for quite a few months now because I cannot find a brisket for under $100. And brisket is that's my thing. That's what I love to barbecue. I love to barbecue brisket and ribs, but where I grew up in North Carolina, I mean, cooking pulled pork is like second nature to me. So I'm bored with it, but everybody else likes it. So I make it a lot for my wife and kids.
You know, it's funny you say that about brisket and ribs. I really like to eat those two things.
Do you?
Yeah.
You don't say.
If I thought I've been looking into, they used to do whole hog by doing it in the ground, where they would dig a trench, light a fire, get the coals going, put the pig in, and then cover it up. Now I've never done it that way. I would like to. I've seen it done in person a couple times, but I have no experience with doing it that way. But if I could figure out over the next year or so how to do that, I think that would be a pretty decent thing to do at like a meet and greet where you have a pig picking, a whole hog, because, just the prospect of you would have to bring a trailer in order to bring your cooking gear and like the smoker and all the stuff that you would need to actually do barbecue the right way. And I really don't want to buy another smoker trailer. We used to do pig in the ground a lot. Hey, maybe I get some tips from Mark on how to do it. I mean, I'm pretty positive of how to go about the process of it. I definitely know how to like season it and do all the steps, but the actual cooking it in the ground is a little bit, it's a different thing because you're smothering it whenever you
What's
put the ground over top of it. It's a whole different kind of technique.
What's Plowboy and Rebecca gonna feed us?
Sounds like a pig in the ground.
Shit, you've done been told.
The chitlins
No,
were
I'm not eating
definitely
no
on the menu.
chitlins.
I think as it stands right now, we're going to have to plan our own menu and prepare. Any state that makes white sauce for barbecue and is all about some chitlins, I've got my doubts. I'm just gonna bring my own food. What do y'all want to eat? And yes, it's on a show, so it'll be recorded because Larry will go back at the campsite and say, "Hey, you promised to feed us. Here's the video of it." He's done it before.
Yeah,
So I'll go ahead and commit to it now. We just need to work on the menu.
I'll be glad to pay you the money, like I
I
told you
told
earlier.
I told you. He offers this all the time. Eat a ton of hickory. That's mostly what I use for most things. Well, guys, we're a little bit over an hour this time, about an hour and 10 minutes or whatnot. So let me stop before I forget and thank both y'all. Normally, I'm recommending you on the show, but now I can just say while y'all are on here, I'm sure at some point Mark and Larry will be back on, and feel free to go over to the Facebook Beast page. You can keep up with all the stuff on there. Like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. You'll catch a notice if there's any new shows that they put out or when they put them out or whatever. Please check out Chris Reinhardt's show, Discover Sasquatch. Look at Mark and Rebecca Green's stuff on Cedar Creek Bottoms Farmstead Life. Again, I like to just promote. I always promote Cam on Dixie Cryptid because I just like listening to it. It's just stories, and you can kind of mindlessly go about what you're doing while you listen to that. I like.
He called me yesterday, and I was away from my phone and missed it. So we're going to talk next week.
I talked to him yesterday.
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah.
Ask Cam if I can get him on here for 30 minutes.
He said no.
He probably did. He probably did.
No, one thing he said is
You can't blame him.
he talked about how many invites he gets to be on live shows, and he just don't like doing them.
I know it. Now he's a hoot to be around at a campfire, though.
Oh yeah, he's a good guy.
These two wouldn't have came on if he wasn't trying to convince you to cook for him. He'd have been like, screw you.
Come on, Misty. It ain't that way.
That's how it is. I know. Larry was like, this is his opportunity to get me on camera saying I'll cook for him. So that's the only reason he's here doing it.
Yep. If I don't come on the show and do that for him, then he's not going to cook for me. So I better do it.
I'll tell you what, in Georgia, Spencer cooked some great dishes.
Oh gosh,
man!
It was just the
gained
pork
like
chop.
5 or 10 pounds.
It was the pork chops and pasta. That's all it was. You know what was funny about the Georgia thing? It wasn't when we were cooking. It was the fact that it took us 30 minutes to eat that pasta dish. Then we went up to the girls' camp to give them the leftovers, and they had gone through the all the firewood for the night.
Yeah.
So Mark Green, if Debbie Jones comes down that way, you need to cut down about 2.5 cords of wood for them to spend the night.
if they bring Stephanie, Barbara and Sandy's cousin, she'll load it up.
Stephanie had a bonfire going.
I said, Spencer, don't trip over that wood. And Spencer said, what wood? There was 2 sticks left, and we'd cut like 2 back end loads of a rack on a Jeep.
Yeah.
It was stacked up that high.
With dull chainsaws.
No, I went and bought a new blade.
Yeah, you did.
New chain. And it dulled up real quick. And see, she's blaming Stephanie. But they sat there and watched her.
You enjoyed that heat too, Debbie.
They were part of it. Because it sucks.
Have you had it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had it and I've made it.
I don't think I've had it, to be honest.
You ain't missing nothing. To be honest, most people really do like it on chicken. Most people do. I mean, it was kind of designed to go with chicken. Boogers would love all these women. Everybody loves all those women. Well, anyway, folks.
Don't get sidetracked, Spencer.
I'm looking
We'll start calling you Squirrel.
I'm looking at the comments.
His mind started wandering. See, Spencer.
Larry got me talking about food and everything, and I'm completely. And then I was sitting there wondering, what am I eating for dinner tonight? I don't know. Anyway,
I want to tell a funny story.
All right.
Okay. We had a podcast, and I don't know why I wasn't able to be on there, but Spencer was the co-host, and the guest was a Russian doctor, and a super nice guy, but it was hard to understand him. And Larry's trying to come up with questions, and every time Larry looked over, he could see Spencer sitting there just reading comments, not saying nothing. Spencer got a tongue lashing after that podcast.
I can't.
It's difficult to speak redneck to Russian, and a redneck to understand Russian, and a Russian to understand redneck.
And then the one time I did ask him, because I did not know who he was before the show. So I went through and spent a day reading stuff and watching YouTube videos. And then there's one thing that I wanted to ask him a question about. And whenever I asked him a question, he's like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, "It's your thing. I just saw it on a YouTube video with you talking about it. I literally just saw it a few hours before then." And then after that, I was like, "I don't know what's going on. I can't understand him. I can't get a question in." And then Larry yells at me for not helping him out. I was like, "Dude, you're on your own."
This sounds like me whenever I'm trying to use the phone and I'm driving or something. I'll hold the button down and I'll be like, "Hey Siri, text such and such," and it never fails. I will call just random people, or my texts are never what I tell him. JR said you need, instead of Alexa, he said you need a red Alexa. He said it can't understand redneck.
No, they need to have a setting on there. You can select that.
Yeah. Well, y'all, you got anything else you'd like to add before we hop off here?
Well, I think we actually have a show this coming Thursday. Debbie has lined us up a guest, and it is someone that goes to LBL. And he researches with Barton Nunley, and so it should be a great show.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I'm getting a stomach ache already. We're gonna talk about. Y'all know it's coming.
That was Misty's roosters, not mine.
It was somebody's rooster.
Right.
Misty, tell us about the babies.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was actually going to bring them out here.
Barbecue goat, Spencer, is delicious.
Larry,
it's called mutton. Mutton.
You're a mutton. We ain't eating no goats, not mine, anyways. They're like this big.
You eat bear, might as well eat a goat.
not even gonna. I'm gonna be nice. I told you I would. So
Did you name them?
I made a promise. No, I didn't. I ain't named them yet.
Well, don't, because that makes it harder to eat them.
I'm not. You know what? No, you're not kidding. I know. I raised hogs, and that was really hard to do. My mom's like, you don't have to do it. And I'm like, will you just shut up and leave me alone? I have to get in my own mindset. Quit talking to me. I said, I can't. You're going to sit and tell me, you don't have to do it.
Whenever I was growing up, we had a pig that we raised and it became a pet. And one day the pig wasn't there. And then there was hams hanging up in the smokehouse. And I said, Daddy, what happened to the pig? Oh, I sold it. No, he didn't sell it. We ate it.
And you've ate ham ever since, ain't you?
Yeah.
And enjoyed it.
I learned to quit asking questions when they disappear.
That's the best venue. That's my kids ask me why we can't get a cow, and I know me, and I'd end up loving on the cow and not want to get rid of it. It's just easier if I just go buy it.
It'll be the same way when you get chickens. You'll be like, oh, well, we'll just go buy chicken.
I ain't getting a chicken.
Yeah, little silkies. I can't wait to see them. You're going to love them.
You and the silkies, those crazy. I'm definitely not getting the crazy ass silkies.
Get some of the Polish with the big afros.
The plume head.
Yeah, we used to have one. Them suckers are mean. Mine was anyways.
Really?
Oh, golly. He was like a freaking fighting chicken. I mean, he would come up to the pen and just jump up and just flog the crap out of the wire. He was mean, real mean. I didn't need him. I started to, but, you know.
They go good with barbecue sauce.
Well, I got rid of them.
Crazy looking and mean. Well, anyway.
What?
I was going to say good night to everybody in the chat. If you're done talking about crazy ass mean chickens.
You were cutting out, or I was one, so I don't know what happened.
I'd like to cut out. I'd like to cut out of here. I've been trying to do it for 5 minutes, but you keep on going.
I hate you so much. Thank you guys for watching. Don't listen to Spencer.
She loves me. She loves me.
He wouldn't know what to do without me.
So
I'm about to quit.
So y'all make sure and wait, where's my little email address thingy? Man, that's bad. I can't even remember it. There it is. Haha. Yeah. Got a new email. So if any of y'all want to email me, if you got any information, or you just want to talk about Bigfoot or whatever, you want to come on the show, anything like that, whatever, there's a new email address. And other than that, to everybody that is in the chat tonight, thank you very much for joining us. And Mark said there'll be a show on Thursday, so I will see all of y'all on, is it going to be Beast, Sawdust Beast, or Beast of the Woods?
Sawdust Beast.
There's the answer to that.
Larry answered that for you.
Stop it, Spencer.
Miss me.
Stop touching the buttons.
Look, one of us does one thing, the other one does the other. We can't both be getting in there.
Then you shouldn't have gave me the privileges to do it.
This is why we got to go. I got to hit the outro, y'all. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye.
and Steve.